Hello and welcome or welcome back. I'm Misty. This is my channel, Misty at Skeeter Jones, and today I'm bringing you the ThredUp 5-pound DIY that I actually tried my best to have up for you last week, but filming just wasn't happening for me last week. So this is the one that I made the short about. I've already unsealed the one strip of tape, and I showed in that short that I ordered it on June 16th. So I've had this one, or I ordered it. I haven't had it for a month, but I ordered it about a month ago. So I have already actually gone through it as well. So here's the main bulk of everything that I'll be showing you. This is the stuff that I've already set aside for the craft lot, and we'll kind of go through it briefly at the end. And let's see, I forgot why I set these things aside, but that'll come back to me as we go. So I have my paper here to give my white background that'll be easier to see on. So we're going to just jump right into it. But before we do jump into it, this is actually something from June 10th. That's when this one was. Someone actually, I think it is a new viewer, or if not a new viewer, it's someone who hasn't ordered from me before. And she ordered these out of my June 10th video and contacted me to let me know that, the packages went out at the end of June. Actually, the beginning of July is when the June packages went out. Got an email this morning, this is Monday morning, saying, I haven't received my earrings. So I went back and looked, and here these were. They were sitting actually in my items to be shipped, and I guess because it's such a tiny package, I completely overlooked it. Totally my fault. And I just wanted to apologize publicly to you. Your first initial is P. I'm not going to give any more information than that, but you know who you are. I am so sorry I overlooked these. Wanted to apologize to you publicly for that, but these are coming to you today. This is Monday the 13th as I'm filming the video. So as soon as I'm done filming, I'm headed to the post office. So apologies about that. So here we go. We're going to jump right in. I am going to have to pause the camera for just a minute so I can get out the gem-eye. I got all of my other materials, but I forgot to get the gem-eye out. This is one of the first things I saw when I first opened this box, and it's a pretty large, look at this. This is a very large pendant, and it's a piece of gemstone. I tested it, but I don't remember what that test said. And plus, I want to show you the test anyway. So I'm going to pause and go get the gem out, and I will be right back. Okay, so here we go. Let me zoom in just a little bit. There we go. I went ahead and got it calibrated and everything. So here we go. This is all kind of new to me, really. Even though I've already gone through it, I went through it quickly and then wasn't able to film. So I don't know, it's been a while. So some of these I'm kind of remembering, some I'm not, but we'll just go ahead with it. First off, though, anything you see here that you're interested in purchasing, just contact me, skeeterjonesthings at Gmail, and we will work it out there. Make sure that you check the description box because it will have a full disclosure of my shipping policy, and it'll answer a lot of your questions there. But of course, you can always contact me also at skeeterjonesthings at Gmail with your questions, and I'll be glad to answer those there as well. And so we are in the July shipping cycle, and I don't know off the top of my head the shipping dates for July packages, but I'll try to remember to put that on the screen somewhere. But even if I don't put it on the screen, that will be in the shipping policies in the description, so you can look for it there as well. But basically, my default shipping is a monthly shipping that goes out at the end of the month, or depending on the day of the week that the end of the month falls on, it may be like the beginning of the following month. So again, all of that is all laid out, and I'm glad to answer any questions through email that you might have. So here we go. First, we have these hoop earrings. They are, or they used to be new on some kind of card, and probably lapis. It looks like I see a little bit of a pyrite flecks in there. Let's see what the gem-eye says. Of course, the gem-eye can't distinguish lapis or even sodalite. It can tell you, usually, at least if it's a gemstone, which I believe these are, so they're not registering very high. They go to garnet, tourmaline, iolite, barely touching chrysoprase emerald, and they're cold. So these are gemstones, and the little bits of white right there kind of make me think sodalite, but it looks like I also see a few little tiny flecks of pyrite in there. This might be a vermeil, which is gold over sterling. Let's see what a scratch test looks like. Now, scratch looks a little brassy, but these aren't really showing any wear, and they are really pretty. They still have the little coverings, little silicone coverings over the ends of the wires, and they're really cute. So we'll bring over Earlene to show you how they look on, and then we'll give you some measurements and all that. For anyone who's not familiar, if you're new here, first of all, welcome. And we have Earlene, who was named by the viewers. I took viewer suggestions to name her, and she's a little silicone ear. It's something actually that people who are learning to pierce use to practice on, and I got that to display earrings in my videos. So here is basically how it looks on. Really cute. That could be a nice boho look. Or really also just like a simple sort of understated. It's just a nice, delicate hoop, large hoop. But even though it's large, it's kind of understated because it's not really bold. See, Earlene popped out of her little acrylic stand, so I've got to get her back in place. I'm not going to take too much time on it. I'll just use, which one? This is right. No? Yeah, this is right Earlene. We'll just have to use left Earlene if right Earlene won't stay in her acrylic stand right now. I don't want to spend the whole video fiddling with that. So here we go. Let's put this back on. It's destructed card. I'll put this little silicone cover back on and give measurements here. So these are ovals that are about just under 2 inches long and just over 1.5 inches across. These tiny little graduated beads, which are either lapis or sodalite. I kind of lean towards saying they're lapis, but I can't completely rule out sodalite. But there they are, and those are going to start us off as number 1. And those are going to be, we'll just do those for $5. They are brand new. Really, really pretty. Nice little classic hoops with gemstones. It looks like they're just barely too big to fit in here. There we go. They're just right. So there we go. A good start. Here is a little stretchy ring, little faceted acrylic stones, little swirls. That's how it looks on. It's sort of a rusty, kind of a rusty orange color. In my opinion, on screen, it looks a little, just a tad bit brighter on screen than it is in person. I don't see any copper showing through. No real signs of wear or anything like that. Without stretching, it comes to about a size, about a size 8, 7 3/4 to 8. Again, that's how it looks on. And that's going to be number 2 for us. And we'll just say $2 for the little stretchy ring. So I'm thinking about trying to do a live this week. I only have 2 days at home. Just Monday and Tuesday are the only days I have at home this week. I'm going to help my mom out Wednesday through probably the weekend. So here's a little bracelet with cowrie shells on it. And then a little gold tone, or yeah, just little matte gold tone cowrie shells also, in addition to the natural ones. And then these little shell beads in between. And there's a tag I saw somewhere. Here it is. This is Canvas. Not a brand that I'm really, really familiar with, but nice and beachy. I like the little matte gold tone shells on there. That's really pretty. And then the natural shells are all this creamy color with this buttery yellow, little veining, I guess is what you'll call that. Those are really pretty. Let's see the size on it without stretching. It is a stretchy, and the stretch is really in really good condition. And it's about a 7.5. So this little pretty one, let's see, where's my, there they are. That's number 3 for us. And we'll just do that one for, we'll just do it for $2. That's Skeeter, you may hear outside barking. He's an old guy now, and he barks at phantoms sometimes. There's a window that way, and I'm looking out in the front yard, and he's just kind of barking at the woods across the street. So maybe he hears a squirrel, or maybe it's phantoms. Okay, this is really pretty. This is a toggle closure on this necklace. Let's see, I don't think that's going to be sterling. Let's see. I've been really going for the acid first every time instead of using my magnets. Okay, this. Okay, yeah, this has a little bit of magnetism to it. So no sterling here. This has some little loose ends right here that I need to snip those off. But these are glass beads. Yeah, just amber colored glass beads. Layered necklace with this really, really pretty scrolly floral toggle. That is really a really pretty little detail. I'm going to get my snippers really quick and go ahead and snip off these little ends. So I'll be right back. Okay. So yeah, nobody wants tiny little ends of wires poking them in the neck when they're wearing their pretty necklace. I'm going to tuck the end of this down inside of a bead. And then snip it off at the other end. There we go. And you don't have to worry about it like raveling or coming loose because it's through this crimp right here. So it's not going to slide out of that crimp, I don't think. Let's see. Well, you know what? The bead's not going to stay up there. So I'm going to snip it off just even with that crimp. So when you're wearing this necklace, you don't have this little end of this wire poking you in the neck. Okay. I think that one more snip will do it. There we go. And are there any others? No, the rest of them look like they're kind of trimmed flush. So everything looks good. So here, oh no, one of the beads is missing its paint. Well, that's a bummer. And another one is missing paint as well. But I don't think all of these have paint. There's another one. I think the rest of them are just really, that's the color of the glass. And then just a handful of these little egg-shaped ones are this white, feels like maybe acrylic with paint on the outside. But the rest of these just appear to be glass that is that color through and through, that there's no paint on it. So we're going to put this one into that lot that we'll be going through later. And let's get right back to it. So here is, let's see, is this acrylic or glass? I think this is acrylic. Let's see, where's my mandrel? Well, actually, no. This is acrylic. It's a little clear acrylic heart. It's got some scratches and stuff on it. Little knotted cord. So I think actually this is going to go into craft as well. Yeah, I'm not going to fiddle with that knot. Let's go ahead and put that into craft. And then let's go here. Oh, this is pretty. A pretty cuff. It's got, is that a scratch? Yeah, that's a little scratch right there. And it has some surfaced scuffing as well. It closes like it's got a magnetized closure, which is in great shape. Structurally, it's in nice shape, but it just has, let's see, I'll clean that up. It has some kind of maybe sticker residue or something right there. I'll clean that up. But then it's got this little just surface scuffing and some dirt. I can clean the dirt off. But that little scratch right there, a little bit of scuffing here, but otherwise in great condition. Here, and it's oval, so when you put it on with this on the front, you'll have a better chance of it staying on the front instead of spinning around, because it's oval, which means it's gonna, you know, not spin easily. But that's how it looks on. That's really cool. This is not any kind of stone. This is not little turquoise chips or anything like that. It's little rhinestones, little acrylics. And that's all that is. Let's see, the size on it is about 7 1/4 to 7 1/2. And that one's going to be number 4 for us. And we'll do that one for just $2 also, just because of all the scuffing that's on there. It's not a whole bunch. She's still got some life in her, but this one actually is going to have to go in a bigger bag. There we go. I'll just include this as a marker since I've already labeled it. So number 4 for $2, the acrylic hinged cuff. Okay, moving on. Okay, we'll see if we can find what this goes to. This is acrylic, little statement necklace with lace. It looks like inside the acrylic on this floral design. Oh, this is pretty. This little, is that a poppy, maybe? A little dimensional flower there to match the bigger one right here. This is how it looks. A little bit of a asymmetrical look. And it is New York. I have a silver tone mesh chain and a lobster clasp. All acrylic and silver tone. There's the construction. And let me get you a drop measurement on that. It is an 8-inch drop and a 3-inch extender. And there we are, a nice, pretty, little feminine but edgy statement necklace. So before I mark this, is it going to fit in this bag? Looks like it will. So that's number 5. And we'll just do that one for $3. Lots of deals today. Let's pull out that giant disc, gemstone disc, and check that out. Okay, this is a satin cord with this type of, is that adjustable or something? Yeah, so it's got this adjustable end. This little knot can slide up and down. It's that kind of knot, like friendship bracelet style. And it's just tied around this. Now this design that's etched in there looks like artisan done. It doesn't look like it's not, you know, all even and measured on all sides. It's sort of unevenly spaced. So, oh, it's got some kind of glue or something right here on the back. So I'll need to clean that off. But let's see what the Gemi says about this big disc. Okay, so it stops just touching, or just in the lower end of jadeite spinel at the upper end of quartz citrine amethyst. And that's in this little lighter green area. I'm going to check this black area and see if it registers differently. And it does, a little bit lower, which can happen because of the different minerals that you find. You know, when there's different colors like this, those colors are, to my understanding, because of the different minerals that are in a certain stone. So they can register differently on a on a gem tester. See, this one goes a little bit higher into jadeite spinel, and that's this more kind of whitish area right here. So, very interesting piece here. And I'm actually not sure that I can get that glue off. So I will try to get the glue off. Can't guarantee that I can get it off, but I'll go ahead and, gosh, I'm going to put this in the craft lot. And if you're interested in whether the glue came off, you know, you can ask and I'll let you know, but I will give that a try. I'm really curious about that whole thing and the story behind it. Okay, here is some really pretty tiger eye. Look at just that striated pattern. Okay, there we go. This is some beautiful tiger eye. I mean, it is absolutely stunning. I love the color variation in that and all of the layers of color. And it's so heavy. The overall color feel to this is sort of a caramel tone. Now, one of these does have a chip in the back, but it doesn't look like it was chipped after the fact. It looks like the stone was made that way because the polished edge like comes all the way up to where that pit is. So I think this was already like this when the necklace was made, just because of the way the polishing comes all the way up to the edge. It doesn't appear to be chipped off right there, but just be aware that that's there. And then all of these are graduated. You have a shepherd's hook closure on these textured oval links, and well, round and oval. And so let me give you a drop measurement. And that is 10-inch drop. And there we are with it. That's really pretty. Really, really pretty. Here's the one that has that little place, that pit. I really don't know what to call it. But yeah, it wasn't broken after the fact. And it is only on one side. So if you like it, if you think that shows some character that you want to display, of course you can wear it with that side facing out. If you don't want it to show, then you can just, you know, wear it with the other side facing out. But there we go, and that is some gorgeous, gorgeous tiger's eye. And that's going to be number 6. There might not be that many pieces today. We'll do this one for, this one for $6. And honestly, if you decide to take it apart and craft with these tiger eye shards, there's a lot more than $6 worth of tiger eye shards right here. So yeah, have some nice crafting material if you decide to not keep this in its present form. There we go. Number 6 for $6. Okay, here is something that's interesting. This is, okay, it's connected to something else. There we go. So this is little orange acrylic geometric shapes that are faceted. These gold tone cube beads and gold tone lobster clasp, another little cube bead hanging off the end of the extender, and That's it. So you have gold tone and this bright orange acrylic. This kind of reminds me of the 80s. It's got a 7-inch drop and a 2-inch extender. And that's how she looks. Which I don't think it would be straight across when you wear it. I think it might tend to do more like this when you wear it. But there it is. Love those bright colors on that. Okay, this one is definitely going to need a bigger bag. That's going to be number 7 for us. And we'll just do that one for $3. There's not really any wear that I can see on it. I love these cube beads, and these are metal, like gold tone metal. Yeah, no real wear to speak of at all on that. And this is like a candy orange. This one's a really interesting piece. So this DIY box, I think, is going to live up to its name because there's a lot of stuff that's that I would call craft in here. Okay, this is going to go. It's a mood necklace. If you remember these little, I think from the 2000s or the 2010s, I think maybe these might be coming back. These little stretchy, I really don't know what you call them, but I remember they were pretty popular. And this is like a mood ring, jewelry kind of setting right here. Let's see. And if you know how to read those, then there we go. My mood is blue and green and teal, I guess. So we'll go ahead and stick that in the craft lot. Okay, this, I remember looking this up, and I'm going to Google Lens that for you right now during the video because I found out something about this. It's actually some kind of a tribal thing. African Zulu style. It's inspired by South African beadwork techniques referred to as Urembo or Maasai. And please forgive me. I know I'm probably butchering those pronunciations. Wow, they're sold by artists and marketplaces. Price between $10 and $150. That's quite a range, depending on age and material. So at least that's what Google AI says. So our particular one, now I did find out all of these colors actually have specific meanings. And there was a picture of this specific one when I first did my research. See, this one looks pretty similar. So let's see. Meaning of the colors. Here we go. So black signifies the link between the living and the dead, the people, the struggles, and the land. White represents peace, purity, and spirituality. And I find that's interesting across cultures. White seems to symbolize that. Red symbolizes bravery. Yellow, fertility, rivers, and love. The sun and hospitality. Green represents the earth. That's across cultures too, I've noticed. Health and nature. And blue symbolizes the sky. So here are all the meanings of all those colors. And It's a form of communication to send messages with color combinations. In this Maasai, again, I apologize for my pronunciation, identifies age, social status, and marital status. Let's see. These pieces are handmade using glass seed beads, and these are glass, and rolled onto a rubber pipe base and finished with metal closures. And that seems to be the case with this one. So let's go over to eBay, and I'll just say African Zulu Maasai. I'm sure I'm not spelling that correctly again. Maasai seed bead necklace. And let's see what we find. Okay. Let me go a step further and say choker. And then we'll do some sold comps. Okay, there's one for 50, 25, 65. Here's one similar to ours that sold for $14.97, $49. So it looks like maybe the intricacy of the design has some play in it, because this one was just a straightforward little color blocks, sold for $14.97, and this is a little more intricate design, and it sold for $49. 65, and this one has that more intricate design as well. And 25. Well, that one's kind of intricate too, and it sold for 25. And then this one's 49. So I don't know, I would probably start out maybe listing this one at 30. So we'll offer this one here for 15. We'll offer that for 15, and then let's see, I'm going to need a bigger bag for that. And for anybody new here, when I say that's what I would list it for, that means if it doesn't sell here, that's what I'll eventually list that for. So our number 8, and offer this one up for 15. It's really pretty. I love the colors on that. I don't remember the color thing talking about orange. And then we have 2 shades of blue, actually. It's really, really pretty. I love learning about other cultures. Okay, number 8 for 15. What have we here besides a tangle? Every time I think I'm almost to the end, I find out I'm not. Let's see if I can find the clasp to this one. Or you know what? I think I'll do this. There we go. So this appears to actually be leather. Can't be certain on that. I'm checking the cut edges. That's usually one of the first places I look to tell if leather is genuine or faux. And it's really hard to see the cut edges because there are these black and kind of light colored threads going over it. Let's see. Actually, on second thought, just the way it feels, I think it's a faux leather. And it has this little slide bead of an elephant. And it's a choker with a magnetic closure. So end to end, just the best way I think to measure a choker of this kind. End to end, have 15 inches. And I'll do it drop length style also, just in case anyone out there prefers that. And I get 6 inches, keeping in mind though, I'm not able to press that out for a length because just of the way it's designed. I guess I could do it this way. And I get about 7 inches when I do it that way. So this is a choker. I think faux leather with a little silver tone, little detailed elephant bead. And I'll circle that around on itself so it'll be easier to package. And that one's going to be number 9. And we'll just do $2 for that one. It's faux leather. I'm pretty certain it's faux leather, but it's a nicer faux leather. It was kind of harder to determine actually if it was faux or genuine. And again, I could still be wrong, but I think it is. I think it is faux. So this one's interesting right here. This looks like the Native American squash blossom design. That's what that makes me think of. And we do have a 925 mark. I really wonder, are we looking at a Native American piece? That would be awesome. I don't see a sterling mark on the lobster clasp. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's not sterling. So let's see what this is. I'm expecting to see amethyst show up on the gem tester. So yeah, it goes pretty high into quartz citrine amethyst. And this is a pretty heavy piece. This is a significant piece. Love this artistry on that squash blossom. So we're going to have to Google lens that. Let's see, where's my stone? Here it is. Oh, look, and there's another one on the bottom. Like right down here on the bottom. Okay, so lots to test here. We're going to test this little bottom piece. Apologies if that squeaky sound bothers anybody. Okay, and then this is for, I'm going to call this part the cap. So we're testing that cap right here. And the artwork on the cap is a separate piece, so we'll test it separately. This really substantial jump ring. I'm going up in order just so it'll help me recall, what's what going up the line. Chains are always hard to get a good scratch on. I'll do that like this. And I'm making the entire table and the camera bounce in the process. All of these scratches have kind of a, well, not all of them, some of them have kind of a golden hue to them. And here is the clasp right here. So let's go all the way across. So the little blossom on the bottom is first. And it is showing up blue. The cap, the artwork, the jump ring, the clasp, and the chain. But I'm not sure if I got a good enough scratch on that chain. Okay, everything is turning blue. You can see the chain right there. Only got a small scratch on it. The clasp is not showing up, but everything else is positive for sterling. So we have a ton of sterling here. this triple chain. Yeah, triple chain. This thick jump ring, this huge cap, this beautiful, beautiful artwork. The little blossom on the bottom. And it looks like everything except this clasp. Let's do it one more time. Making sure I get a good enough scratch just to be extra sure. And yeah, the clasp is not coming up positive at all. So we can call everything here sterling, just with the exception of the lobster clasp. Wow, this is gorgeous. So let's Google Lens this and see what we get. I would love to find that this is a native piece. Let's see what we get. I don't know if that's a clear enough picture. No, I'm getting all kinds of wire wrapped pieces. So let's try again without all that chain in the picture. We'll do it like this. So no wire wrapping here. I'm still not finding much. Let me see what happens if I type this next to it. Okay, now I'm getting it. Here's that squash blossom design. Like once you've seen it, you can kind of, there are different variations, but you'll be able to pick it up anywhere you see it. And it's very common in native jewelry. It's just a recurrent theme. Like there it is in a different style. Okay. So I'm thinking we're on the right track. Amethyst gemstone. Appears to be vintage Mexican modernist. It's consistent with Taxco. I don't see any Taxco marks on here, so I don't think it's Taxco. And I don't even see a stamp that says Mexico. Antonio Pineda and William Spratling are Taxco artists. And I believe, actually, a little bit of history, I believe William Spratling is the one who created the Taxco, I don't know if you would call it a brand because it's more associated with a region, but he's the one that started the whole Taxco thing. I'm going to do a little bit more research on this one. Let's see what it says if I ask them this. Is it Native American? More likely associated with Mexican modernist. Okay, and again it mentions Pineda and Spratling. And then there's some more, see there it is in a different design. But this squash blossom is actually pretty common to some Native American jewelry. So that's why I was thinking that. But it's saying, like in two different tries, that this looks more Mexican. This isn't stamped Mexico, but pieces made in Mexico aren't necessarily always stamped as such. I'm going to research this one a little bit more. If you're interested, email me. But I'm not going to offer it here with a price just yet until I have a little bit more time to research. But definitely, if you're interested, you can go ahead and email me about this one. So we're going to sit this one aside. And moving right along, why did I put these things together in a bag? maybe no, it's not single earrings. Oh, that's why I put them in a bag. So these are all just little faux pearl and gold tone, and they look like they came from Claire's. So you have these little huggies with little plastic faux pearl shells, these little hoops with a little dangly faux pearl, these hoops with faux pearls all the way around, these with little iridescent butterflies. These are some with little snakes, and these are all little huggy hoops I'm talking about. Here's huggy hoops with little faux pearl bows, little enamel clovers, another pair just with dangly faux pearls, huggy hoops with little butterflies, little gold tone butterflies right there, little infinity signs, and all of these have matches. Little dinosaurs, those were really cute, little silver tone dinosaurs. And then just little ball studs. So if you know any little young girls, if you have some young girls in your life, you might appreciate those. I just put them all together in one lot. Forgot doing that. I should have written on this bag before I poured the things back in. So this is going to be number 10. And we're just going to say $3 for this lot of just a ton of little girls' earrings. All right, moving on. These look kind of special, and I think I had found something out about these, but I can't remember what it was. They look kind of artisan. They don't have a maker's mark on them, but a little glass, it looks like, on top. Yeah, with a little foliage design underneath. It's on a kind of a cream colored background with orange foliage and brass settings and brass lever backs. So let's pull out Earlene. And this time we're going to use left Earlene, since right Earlene wouldn't behave and stay in her acrylic stand. So that's how they look on. Really pretty. Very artsy and boho looking. They're about just over an inch long. And those are number 11. And we'll do those for $3. Okay, this is a bracelet with acrylic beads, little faux pearls and gold tone, little rhinestone rondelles, pretty caps on these black beads and on the little faux pearls, and a spring ring closure, and I don't see any wear. Looks like it's in really, really great shape. Here we go. The size is about 6 3/4. And here's how it looks on. That matches what I'm wearing today. This is a thrifted 100% linen sweater that I got for 25 cents at my local thrift. So there we go. This one is number 11, no, number 12. This is number 12. And we'll just do that for $2. Okay. This one's interesting. So we have a gunmetal chain, a brass tone oval, I think this was not originally on this chain because none of that doesn't seem to really go together. Yeah, this chain's not original to this pendant. But this sort of matte gold tone or sort of brass tone oval, and then you have this gold tone coating on the back of this geode. So let's see what the geode registers as. Got a lot of different colors in there. Probably a quartz is where a lot of these register. Okay, this doesn't even go up to quartz in this sort of smoky area right there. So let's try the whitish area. Okay, it goes well into the quartz line there. And then we'll try this darker area up here at the top. And that goes to garnet tourmaline iolite. So the mystery geode, and it has some nice crystals down inside. And just a lot of different stuff happening with this one. So we will do this one for, it's number 13, and we'll do, this is a really nice little chunk of geode. We'll do that for $5, really just for the geode. And I'll just throw in this chain that doesn't really go with it. I'll just throw the chain in for free. Okay, now, oh, I see J. Crew, and I remember seeing these now. I'd forgotten all about these. These are gorgeous. These are some statement earrings by J. Crew. Right there's the branding. I'll put new backs on those. But they're sort of this yellowy, very light citrine colored glass stones and clear stones. And they're absolutely beautiful. So let's get out Earlene again. There's how they look on. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Those are so pretty. They are about 2.5 inches long and about just under 1.25 inches across. They have a little bit of scratching right here on this stone. Let's see, is that scratching or is that just some stuff that's on there? It's some minor scratching. I'll polish these up, and those are beautiful. We'll do them. Let's see, number 14. We're going to do those for $8. I'll probably list them for $16 if they don't sell here. I'm thinking that this is probably worth a little bit more than $16 on eBay, but it has that little scratch right there on this stone. You have to look close to see it, but it's there. So that's number 14 for $8. Okay, looks like we have some more geode right here. Oh, the chain is in terrible shape. Yeah, I'm going to put a new chain on that. Actually, that could just be dirt. Either, this will either have a new chain. See what I'm talking about right there? I'm going to find out if that's dirt. I'll clean that up. And if it's actually tone loss and wear, then I'm going to replace the chain. So you'll either have this chain good as new, or you'll have an actually new chain. So if you decide to buy this one. But here it is. Look at this statement. It's a long tassel here. From the top of the geode to the bottom of the tassel is about around 7 inches. this feels like glass beads because they've got some nice weight to them. They're like a pearlescent gunmetal color. And these are faceted down here on the bottom. And little gold tone ones right there. And this gold toning around the edges of the geode. And then, now let's see what this geode is. This is you guys, the garnet tourmaline iolite. That's in this little black area. So let's try the lighter colored spot right here. And it goes to garnet tourmaline iolite as well. And it goes all the way through. And gorgeous little crystals right there inside. But that's gorgeous. And this actually would make a nice purse charm for a bigger bag, like a bag charm, if you attach a hook to the top of it, or a key ring. If you didn't want it to be a necklace, it would be a nice bag charm or a nice key ring. But here we are with that one. It is going to be number 15. And we're going to do that one for, again, for $5. Because this is a gorgeous geode. This is a really, really nice tassel. And it's got some nice weight to it. Really nice weight to it. And again, you're either going to have a new chain. Now, it might not be a brand new. It might be an upcycled chain. But it'll be one that doesn't have wear on it. Or you'll have this one cleaned up and good as new. So those are the two options there. If you would like me to throw in a hook to turn it into a bag charm or a key ring, let me know, and I'll do that for an additional $5. I'll say plus $5 for clasp or key ring. So I won't add that unless the buyer requests it. So if you want this, but you also want a bag charm clasp or a key ring with it, let me know. That'll be $5 more, and I'll add that to the package. Or I'll even attach it to the tassel if you like. Okay, here's an interesting gold tone clamper bracelet. I don't see any branding on it, and I really don't even remember seeing this the first time around. The closure's not super tight. Let's see if that would stay on during the course of a day. Okay, shaking my hand around, it kind of comes open right there. So I'm not sure. As far as wear goes, it looks really nice, but I'm just not sure that it would stay on your arm if you tried to wear it all day. So I'm going to put that into the craft lot. We have here another lot of little earrings. So we have this little textured scroll work. We have this sort of, I guess, maybe like a lotus flower type of design, water lily type. And then two pairs. Are these the same color? No, one looks more kind of a matte gold tone and one looks more of a matte silver tone of these sort of drop hoops. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs. And we'll do all of these for, let's see, it'll be number 16 for the lot. And we'll just say $4. That's $1 a pair. So we'll say $4 for 4 pairs of these little drop earrings. Well, I'm saying little. They're all of them are roughly 2 1/4 inches long. And they're all lightweight. So if you like bigger earrings, but you don't like the weight, these, especially these little filigree ones on the front, are really lightweight. Okay, this is a nice boho piece, orange and brown, this wooden disc. I have a friend who really loves this combination, this color combination of orange and brown. Has a button closure. These feel like glass beads, glass seed beads, and this pretty polished wooden pendant. And it's knotted right here. And it's a shorter necklace. It's not choker length, but it is kind of shorter. 7.5. And then the pendant is 2.5 inches across. But on some people, 7.5 drop length could be a choker. This one is number 17. And we'll just do this one for, let's do that for $4. Autumn is coming. To me, this color combination is a nice autumn combination. Okay, 18 is going to be a lot of gemstone. This is turquoise. Yeah. And turquoise doesn't really register on a gem tester. I take that back, it does. But you're not going to have anything that tells you this is a piece of turquoise. It would be great if there was a gem tester out there that could tell you the exact stone that you're looking at. But all they can do is list the common ones, and then you have to just sort of use your judgment. So this is leather cord. Yeah, leather cord. The little turquoise bead closure, little bead and loop type closure. And these nice chunks of turquoise. Take a look at this. That's beautiful, and it's so heavy and so cold. That's a stunner. With this leather cord too. This is a quality piece. I really wish someone could get credit for it. It's absolutely beautiful. And these are called slab. Like each one of these is called a little slab. So this is a slab necklace, and they sell for a good bit. Let's put it all in here into eBay, and just to show you what these go for. It's crazy. So it's sold. So here we go. Here's a little choker with earrings that went for $85. Now this is just howlite right here. The ones that are similar to ours. We have a double layer. This one's kind of close to ours. This one went to $185, went for $185 just about a month ago. That's got 3 layers. $375, but this one's branded for a Pueblo artisan. This Barse one went for a good bit, but ours is not, there's not a maker's mark on ours. So this looks similar to ours, but it's branded as well for $69. Here's one unbranded, $115. So yeah, these slab necklaces, these turquoise slabs, go for a pretty penny. There we go. $50 for that one. And again, I'm mostly paying attention to the ones that look the most similar to the one I have right here. Not seeing any more with the big slabs on them like ours. So depending on branded or not, depending on how many slabs in it, or how many layers that is. So anywhere from 50 up to, what was it, almost 400 for one of those. So I'm probably going to list this one for 50 when the time comes. So I'll need a bigger bag for that. Since I'm going to list it for 50, maybe 55 or 60. So we're going to do it here for, let's see, it's going to be number 18. We'll do this one for 30. These gorgeous chunks. Gorgeous, gorgeous chunks of turquoise. This is heavy. And it is gorgeous. I'm wondering, I'm going to have to look at some of these drill holes now, because I'm seeing a little bit of lighter colored right there, but it still doesn't seem to be dyed. And a telltale space to look is the drill holes, and I'm not seeing white at the drill holes. So I'm believing this is turquoise. The matrix also doesn't look like howlite matrix, in my opinion. It looks more, howlite matrix looks more kind of spider webby. So I'm thinking this is turquoise. If I find out otherwise after filming, I'll put that on the screen with a different price. But I'm thinking this is turquoise. It's just kind of throwing me because some of these edges have that whitish color, but the drill holes don't. And then where this one, actually, here's one that's actually broken right there. And you look inside the break, and the color goes all the way through the break. So because of that color going all the way through the break like that, and I will resin that back together. Yeah, I'm going to call this as turquoise. Certainly open to accepting that I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong on this one just because of that break right here. And the color is consistent through the break. So because of that one being broken, though, I am going to take it down. I'm going to take that down to 25 because of that broken one. And this one is gorgeous, and it is heavy. Still, we'll probably list it for about for 50, again, maybe 55 or 60, just depending. I guess depending on how it hits me the day that I list it, if I end up listing it at all. This is interesting. Okay, here's a little cap that's got some personality. This, I don't know that that's turquoise. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. It's definitely a stone, but it's not moving the needle at all. It's moving just a little bit. Okay, and that doesn't always mean that something is not a stone, because this definitely is. Oh, I can't see inside the drill hole much. I can just a touch. It's a stone of some kind. But then you have this little free-formed loop, sort of a faux toggle closure, which is kind of odd. Okay, because you have a spring ring closure in the back right here, but in the front you have this jump ring with this little bar hanging above it. So it's a faux toggle, which is kind of, as I said, pretty odd. And it looks more modern than this cap. So I think this is maybe someone's project. I think someone made this. They did a decent job. They did a nice job. I'm just confused as to why they would do the faux toggle right here. But I'll go ahead and offer that up. It's an interesting piece. Definitely say that about it. It's interesting. Where are we? Number 19. And I'll just say $4 on that. You can actually take it apart and use those elements for other things if you would like. And then that would still be a deal for the chain. And then a toggle closure, then this cool cap, and this cool stone. Each one of those individually would be good crafting elements for other projects. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm going to make something with these. These were just rolling all around in the bottom of the box. And they are a bunch of Baroque pearls. And they're really cool. They're large. Large and in charge and really cool. So there are a total here of 6 of these. You know, these 4 here that are, you know, kind of, I mean, they're large, but they're not enormous. And then you have these 2 really big ones, especially this one here. So these are all gorgeous, and they were just all over the bottom of this box. There was no chain or anything that looked like it went with them. So these are going to go in my craft stash. Let's see, here's a necklace with a lot going on. Or maybe it's a necklace and a bracelet that each have some stuff going on. So I'm sorry I didn't have any videos out last week. It just wasn't happening. And then this week, I believe I may have mentioned it at the top of the video. Let's see, how in the world does this work? Oh, there we go. I'm going to help my mom out. She's having a procedure done, so I'm going to stay with her for a few days. So there we are. We have this bracelet and then this necklace causing a ruckus. Okay, I would like to see this one. I don't remember it from when I looked through the box shortly after getting it. And definitely, actually even trying to film last week, I looked through everything again. So I'm surprised that I don't remember some of these pieces. I really don't remember a massive tangle like this, but I think I almost have it under control. There we go. Okay, let's do the bracelet first. There's a paper clip chain, then this little closure with the rhinestones on it, and it snaps open and snaps closed like that. And these are little faux pearl. Well, no, these are not faux. These are genuine pearls. So gold tone and genuine pearls. And we're looking at about a 7.5. Here's how it looks on. You know, from this side, of course, and then You have this side with the paper clip. And then the little paper clip style closure that snaps shut. So we'll do this one as our number 20. We'll do that for $4. Some pretty little genuine pearls and gold tone. And now look at this. Okay, we've got some kind of stone in here, in between these little sort of tubes, I guess. And it looks like brass. There's some wear on this closure. You can see some copper coming through right there. I wonder what the Gemini might say about these stones. They might be glass. They look like stones to me. And lots of stones that are stones will show up as glass on a gem tester. But I don't know. This could be glass. But I think they're stones if you look at them closely. But they're encased in these little tube things. And they will spin in there. That's why it's kind of hard to tell if that's glass or a stone. That was the same color all around. But there they are. And it's just a long, delicate necklace of brass or brass tone. That clasp has some copper showing through on it. It has about an 18-inch drop and about 2.5-inch extender. And that's number 21. And we'll just do it for $3. And you know what I'm going to do, actually? Wait a minute. I need to leave an end of this hanging out so it doesn't get tangled up again. I'm going to do something with that other chain that I just untangled off of this one. That geode that had the long tassel, that had that weird gunmetal chain that didn't really go with it. I'm going to put this chain in there with that one. I'll leave the gunmetal chain that came with it, but I'm going to throw this one in the package as well. So where did that go? Here it is. Oh, no, wait a minute. Where's the one that had the gunmetal chain? Well, I won't make you wait while I hunt for it. I'll find it. The one that had the gunmetal chain, but nothing else on it was gunmetal. I'm going to put this one in with that necklace. So here we go with a bracelet. This looks like some pewter maybe. A little pewter toggle closure. And these little shell chips that are these different shades of teal and kind of caramel. There we go. Toggle closure. And I don't see any precious metal marks, but I believe it's pewter anyway. And I'm not sure if pewter magnetizes. Okay, let's see what kind of scratch we get on this. I'll be surprised if it's sterling. Has a very sterling-y looking scratch. Okay, no. This one's going to be a negative. Let's try the toggle bar, but that scratch looks really bright. Okay, it turned blue for just a split second. So maybe pewter. I'm thinking on that. So here's how it looks on. Pretty boho look, the teal and caramel. And then all this pretty texturing on the toggle closure and on the ends right there. And let's get you a measurement on it. The length is the length. There's no extender, so it's about a 7 1/4. And that's going to be number, I lost what number we were on. Okay, I think I just remembered 22. Yeah, because this one's 21. Okay, so this one we'll just do for $2. Some great prices today. Not much in the way of like precious metals or anything like that, but some nice gemstones and some great deals. This looks very similar to the stones that are in this little necklace. Okay, this still has plastic on the little name tag, and it says Zig, but it says something else also that my eyes cannot read. So let's zoom in on that. Okay, it says Zag Bijou, which bijou is just French for jewelry. That's why you see that in a lot of jewelry brand names. Okay, so let's get this separated. I think we're looking at 2 separate necklaces right here. Okay, so the Zag Bijou goes with this. That's acrylic and gold tone, so this one is new. And it looks like this, which is pretty cool. I like that green look right there, that green agate type of look, but it is acrylic. And lobster closure, all gold tone. And I'm not familiar with that brand. The drop on this is 9 inches. Got a 2-inch extender. And we're going to do this one. That's our number 23. And we'll just do it for $3. This pretty green and gold tone necklace. Apparently new because the plastic is still on that little hang tag. And then this actually looks like it probably goes with this because the stone looks very similar, and then this little thing, that teardrop shaped thing that goes around the stone, looks very similar to these little things. There's not a hang tag on this one. I'm going to see how these two look together. I would be willing to bet these were probably originally together, or at least part of the same collection. Yeah, look how those layer. I bet those were originally a pair. I'm going to keep that as $3 and put the two together, because I think they were made to go together. That stone looks the same, and that type of setting looks the same. And I'd like to keep those guys together. And we'll just keep the price the same at $3. There we go. Okay, we are getting down to the end of this one. Okay, here's, do we have a single? I guess we do. That's a stone. Let's see what it is. Quartz, citrine, amethyst. A lot of stones seem to reside in that range of the gem tester. Okay, it goes up to jadeite spinel. Okay, so that's where that goes. I'm going to test this guy while I'm at it. This goes to quartz, citrine, amethyst. And I'm talking about this little half moon right there. Okay, so this goes to jadeite spinel. And it's really pretty. There's some kind of mark right here on the ear wire. Let's zoom in on that. Okay, that is not a mark, that's just a scratch. Okay. And copper on that scratch. But this is really interesting. This will make a nice pendant. And I know a project that this will go with, so I'm going to put that in my craft stash as well, since we don't have a mate to it. So here is another canvas. So if you know about this brand, let me know something. I have never heard of this brand canvas. This is a faux pearl, and this little Van Cleef and Arpels quatrefoil design, matte gold tone, and it's a toggle closure on this pretty little bracelet. All kinds of little charms on it. There we go. So that's how it looks from this side with all the little charms. That's how those look. That's a pretty one. So we're going to get a size on it. I'm not going to look the brand up on this. This is about a 7.5 or so. Number 24. And we'll do $4 for this pretty little bracelet. I do remember seeing these. I thought these were really interesting. Well, it's kind of a birdcage design on these drop earrings. Silver tone. I'll bring Erlene over. That's how those look on. These remind me of the 1960s. I don't know if these are vintage, but they just remind me of the 60s. They are about 2.5 inches long. Number 25. And we'll do those for $4. Nice silver tone. No tone loss. No signs of wear. Just different. Very different, and that sort of atomic age kind of look to them. Okay, this one that we tested a minute ago, let's take a look at it, if we can get it loose from everything. There are these tiny beads going everywhere. I think I saw that little canvas name tag again. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Okay, here we go. Almost done here with this one. So we have sort of a brass colored setting, and then this stone, I forgot what it came up as. Quartz? Is it quartz? No, it goes to garnet tourmaline iolite. This pretty striation in this stone. And just a simple little geometric design where you have the half circle, like the half moon shape, and then another open half moon shape hanging together. That looks kind of artsy, a little bit boho artsy. And that one's going to be number 26. And we'll just do it for $2. That is a stone in this nice setting. It's really pretty. Okay, so keep an eye out. I'm going to try to go live tomorrow. We'll see how that works. It worked well the last time I did it. So I'm thinking about giving that another try tomorrow, but I'm trying to get things ready for me to be gone for a few days. So I'm not sure that I'll be able to do a live tomorrow. We'll just see if it works out. There'll be some kind of video tomorrow, and hopefully that some kind will be live. So let's see if I can get this untangled from each other. Looks like two separate necklaces. It might be one that's tangled over on itself, but no, okay, it's two separate ones. So this is a little coin looking thing. So let's see, you have planets and stars around the guy. It looks like he's pouring something out. And then on this side you have this floral design. And then the chain with these little ball stations on it. It's not super long. It's not super short either. It's got a 9-inch drop. The pendant is about 1.25 inches. And you have a 2-inch extender. And there it is. Maybe that's like a horoscope sign. I don't know. I don't really know what that symbolizes. This is number 27. And we'll just do that for $1. And actually, I might throw this one together with it. I think I will. This is just this little kind of snowflake design, flower design on a little delicate chain with a little faux pearl. And that's not a mark, it's just a little circle. So yeah, we'll put that together, and honestly, let's see what this is. Just a plain gold tone chain. And see, I'm going to make a little stack right here with those. Honestly, I'm going to put all these together. So this little gold tone chain is, it has an 8-inch drop and a 2-inch extender. So the little coin, maybe horoscope thing, then the little snowflake kind of thing, little plain gold tone chain, and then here is what appears to be an anklet, I think, with ball stations on it. Or no, this is a bracelet. 7 3/4 to an 8. And what is this? Soho design. A little Y drop necklace right there. Silver tone with a little acrylic bead and 2 tiny acrylic beads right there. And stations going up the sides. And this is Soho design. The drop on this one is about 8 inches, and there's a 2-inch extender. And just for grins, we'll throw in this camo cross. Altogether, we're going to lot this, the maybe horoscope necklace, the little snowflake one, the plain silver tone chain, the gold tone bracelet, the Y drop silver tone, and the little camo cross, all together for $1. So there we go, and we're just about to wrap all of this up. And this is how I'll keep that from getting tangled. I'll put all the pendants like that, and then slide the whole thing down into a bigger bag. There we go. $27 for $1 for the entire lot. And speaking of lots, here is an earring lot. I do remember putting this together, but I forgot what everything looks like that's in here. Those are interesting. And then these little gold tone hoops. These gold tone hoops with little pearlescent pink butterflies. These are earrings that look like little gold tone safety pins with hearts in the cutout right there. And then dragonflies right here, little silver tone dragonflies. These are about 2, maybe 2.5 inches long. And they had a hard time coming out of that bag. We'll get a bigger one. And then these hoops are about a little more than 1 inch across, and they look new. Gold tone. The little pins are about 1 inch, as are the dragonflies and the butterfly hoops. So that entire set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll do for $3, and that's number 28. And that's for this entire lot right here. And the last one we have here is this little bracelet. That's a little patent number. This is faux leather with some gold tone and heart cutouts right there. There's how it looks on, but I just saw something. What did I just see? right here. Some of the stitching has come loose, so we're going to put that into craft. And then now we have this pretty large cuff. Lots of scratching on that, little surface scratching. So we'll put that also into a craft lot. This I'm going to take to the studio because I think I can do something with this. I believe it probably used to be a bracelet, but I got it like this in my box. And I think I can use that to make some ceramics with. So I'm going to add this to my ceramic supplies. This is that Hawaiian, it's a kukui nut. And this fabric thread with these little gemstone chips and wood. I think that is, those little turquoise chips, I believe. So this little tropical island thing looks like this. Has a wide drop with a little tassel on it. And it's adjustable. Where it sits right now is a 15-inch drop. Actually, it's not adjustable. I thought it was, but it's been tied in a knot right here. So a 15-inch drop is where it sits. And then the tassel itself, including the little nut pendant, is 5 inches. And that's going to be $29. And we'll do it for $3. Okay. So we're getting close to the end of the regular items. And I'll just briefly go through the craft lot after that. Okay, here's some more those same little nuts, but they're smaller, and shell chips on this black cord. Here's how that looks. Those are really pretty. It has kind of a delicate but edgy at the same time. Silver tone closure. And it can layer, it can double around, or maybe even triple around. It's 29 inches on the drop. And there she is. So we're going to put her up for, let's see, look at this kind of bag. That's number 30. And we'll do this one also for just $3. Lots of islandy tropical things here at the end. Well, and throughout the box too. Had that little shell bracelet. Had a few things like that. So here's another one. It's knotted. The cord is braided, and it's this pretty kind of muted sage green. Again, with the chips and the thread, a lot like this one was. But this one doesn't have a nut on it. And this one is in shades of, where this one is like blue. This one is brown and this muted green on a tan thread, beige thread. And then I don't know what this is, this pendant. It looks like some kind of natural material, but I can't really tell what it is. Maybe these nuts have a husk or something on them, and maybe that's a piece of a husk. Because the color is similar, the feel is similar. It doesn't feel artificial, like it doesn't feel like a plastic or an acrylic. And looking in the drill hole, it looks like a natural material. So it's kind of hard to tell. But this one is, let's nice tropical island type of feel to it. It's a 14-inch drop. The pendant, all the way down to the end of the tassel, is 5 inches. And there it is. This is number 31. And we'll do that for $3 also, the same price we did the similar blue one. And the last of the regular items, this also reminds me of the 1960s. I don't know, this reminds me, if you know about architecture at all, that reminds me of Frank Lloyd Wright. Just that pendant does. And it also reminds me, he's not architecture, but it reminds me of M.C. Escher, if you know that artist. But altogether, this reminds me of the 1960s because of the design. Reminds me of the 1970s because of the color. This is a faux leather, I think. Yeah, faux leather cord, which is knotted. Has a little bead at the end of the cord, and then it's tied into a knot right there. So it can go over your head, and here's the little beads and the pendant all together in the front. So there's a few little retro vibe kind of pieces that we have here. The 10.5-inch drop. The pendant, including this bead right here, is about a 2.5-inch drop. And we'll do this one for $1. And that's number 32. Okay, so that's the end of the regular pieces. Tomorrow I'm going to bring some handmade pieces to you, and then next week Gigi's Gems, which I'm really excited about. Okay, so the last piece that I threw into the craft lot was this enormous cup. There's not really much wrong with it. It has some surface scratching. I just decided that it'll go in with the craft lot. But the thing is 4 inches wide. So there you go. And it's tapered. It's wider at one end. So it's 8 1/4 at the top end, which would be like the up end, like up here. The wrist end of it is about 7 3/4 to an 8. And like that's how it looks on. You could play Wonder Woman. It would just be your bulletproof wrists, or bulletproof little bracelets, bullet deflecting bracelets. So I'm not going to detail everything that's in the craft lot. I'm just going to kind of show it to you quick. Tons of loose beads of different sorts. I thought these were interesting. They're kind of amber colored with these little black little knobs on them. And there were several of those in the bottom of the box, just kind of rolling around. And then you saw this and this just a moment ago. This was interesting, I thought. This is an earring, but it would easily be turned into a pendant or, you know, anything else you like. It has seed beads and little sequins and stuff on it. A feather, which may have seen better days. This earring that has a similar feather on it, and it looks like a fishing lure. Let's see, I showed you this earlier in the video. It's the one that has all these great amber colored glass beads on it, but a few acrylic ones with missing paint, and this really pretty closure. This is a little braided bracelet. Oh, this was really pretty. It's, I don't know, well, it was an earring, but I don't know how it would have originally gone because 3 petals have this enamel on them, and then the fourth one has it on the back. But that didn't have a mate. And then you saw this earlier, and you saw this earlier. Some bracelets here. Just little thin bangles. I know somebody who makes sun catchers out of those. So here's a little bracelet that looks like this, but it has tons of wear. Here's some earrings with little sloths on them. And this one has a mate. It looks like, I remember somebody I knew when I was a kid had wind chimes that looked like this. Here it is. So there's the mate. Oh, and the mate doesn't have a wire. Here's an earring. And there's some bubbling underneath the gold tone on that. This is a piece of probably quartz. Let's take a look. Well, it goes to quartz, citrine, amethyst, and that's sort of citrine colored right here at the end. So you might have a little bit of citrine here in this craft lot. So I can't say with certainty, 100%, that that's citrine, but it could be. So quartz and citrine maybe. And this was a pendant. And it looks very similar to that other geode pendant, actually. That's in the regular pieces. Here's this. Looks like some black rice. Some more of these little beads. All kinds of little beads here. These little tube beads as well. Little girl earring right there. These have lots of missing paint on these earrings. These are paper beads, or it is a paper bead. I don't remember if that had a mate or not. Seed beads missing here. Howlite bracelet with a little tassel on it. The stretch is not the best, but the beads are in great shape. Little rattan hoop, probably used to be an earring. A broken, maybe bracelet, right there with a toggle closure. Another one of those little knobby beads. This green thing, I don't know what this was, because you have a closure here at the top, these green cords coming down, and all sorts of beads at the ends. So I don't really know, what this was in its former life, but you can make it whatever you would like for it to be. Some little gemstone chips, that probably used to be an earring. And right here, a necklace that's seen better days, but can probably have elements harvested from it, like the clasp and chain and things like that. Maybe some of the beads even. A really nice tassel. It's in nice shape. Little gemstone heart. I'll check it, but even if it is like onyx doesn't really show up. So you have this little heart. Is it a bead? It's not drilled anywhere, so it's just a little puffy shaped heart. There's no drill hole in it. this kind of earring. I don't know what you call those. It reminds me of a Roman soldier helmet. This looks like polymer clay. And yes, here's the mate to the paper bead earring. And here's some earrings. Or no. Yeah, they are. They look Christmassy. And it's a pair. Some more little silver tone bangles. This is really pretty, but there was not a mate to it. Little flowers. Lots of wear here on these hoops. The mate to the polymer clay. This was really pretty, I thought. That's really, really pretty. Little silver tone with the pink beads on it, but it didn't have a mate. I think that doesn't have a mate either. Okay, here's the other Roman soldier helmet. And an Alex and Ani style. No, it's not. It's just a bracelet with some charms on it. The Lord's Prayer. A little bit of Lord's Prayer on the back of that one. Little enamel earrings. Post on that one's bent, but those are cute. Little R charm. Sea glass and brass, it looks like right there. Some real knobby beads. A butterfly earring. Little broken. The side of that little flower's broken off, but little flower huggies. Faux pearls. Little earring right there. And this is a bracelet. Bead for life, it says. And these are paper beads as well. And this is a bracelet. Little black tube bead. And so that's all of the littles. And then here's this necklace with these AB rhinestones on it. A good bit of surface scuffing and scratching on the front of those stones, but a nice silver tone chain. You could harvest that silver tone chain and make something nice out of it. And you could do something, nice and crafty with this pendant part. And then this big honker of a gemstone disc, which I'm not really sure. Like, I don't really know how this came to be. But I'm going to throw that in. I'll try to see if some acetone will take that glue off. But here is the whole craft lot. And we'll say I'll say $12 for the craft lot, and that's going to be number 32. Oh, and this goes with it. I have to put that in there. So there they are. And I'm sorry I didn't get quite as gabby with little side information, but I think I'll have some updates on the genealogy research coming up soon. Oh, I didn't find a mate for this. I'll put this into the craft lot as well. So the genealogy research, I think I may have some news coming up. I'm waiting to get some things in the mail this week, so I'm really, really excited about that. And if I get those things in the mail before my trip to my mom's house, which I hope I do, hope those things come by tomorrow, which tomorrow would be Tuesday the 14th. Well, it'll be today as you're watching the video, but tomorrow as I'm filming it. But if I can get those by Tuesday the 14th, that would be awesome before I go to my mom's. But I'll update you soon on developments in the genealogy story. And yeah, so tomorrow I will try to go live. There will be a video one way or the other. It might be live and it might not. but if I'm able to work it out live, that's what I'm going to do. And so I think that's it for right now. Oh, and there will be some handmaids in tomorrow's video. So here are the things that we looked at today, and I really, really appreciate you joining me for this video. Sorry I checked out from you last week. Thank you so much for your understanding and your patience on that. But I really, really did enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing all of these videos, and that's why I really miss it when I am not able to do it. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, share it out to someone who you think might also enjoy it, and leave me a comment and click subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!